Over the last year and a half, I've made over 140 long-form videos about credit cards. And one of my biggest concerns with my channel is that I talk about so many different credit cards that someone new to all this will see all the endless options and feel lost. I know because that's exactly how I felt when I started watching credit card YouTube videos. I would see one video about Chase, the next about Citi, American Express, and then some random cashback card. So in today's video, I want to keep it simple and show you the 5 credit cards that I would use if I had to rebuild my credit card strategy up from the ground. And the first card is going to be the Citi Strata Premier. I truly believe that this is the best credit card on the market right now. I listed it in the top 5 credit cards of 2024 and 2025, but because of the new changes, the annual fee, the synergy with other cards, the downgrade path, I believe that it is the best credit card on the market right now. To me, the 2 most valuable points currencies are Hyatt and then American Airlines points. And Citi is the only issuer that allows you to take your credit card points and send them one-to-one to American Airlines. If you're flying inside the US, you can pretty much find any one-way flight right now for about 6,000 to 10,000 American Airlines miles. And if you're flying internationally, American Airlines has a great award chart if you're trying to book something like Qatar, Japan Airlines, Cathay Pacific, or other airlines. It's really one of the only points currencies right now where you can get 2 cents per point no matter what kind of travel you're booking, whether it's business class, first class, within the United States, outside of it, which is pretty rare. And by holding the Citi Strata Premier and then some other credit cards that we'll talk about later in this video, you can realistically pay for all your domestic and international flights with this setup. And another thing that I love about the Citi Strata Premier is that you can use it as a daily driver because its earning categories are so good. In a lot of credit cards that you pay an annual fee, like the Amex Platinum and even the Chase Sapphire Preferred a little bit, you're paying money, but you're not really using it to buy anything. You're just using it for either the access to transfer partners or things like the lounge access. But the best analogy that I could cook up is the Citi Strata Premier is kind of like a Porsche 911. It's a really nice car, but you can also use it as your everyday driver without having to worry about it blowing up, where cards like the Amex Platinum are a little bit like, I don't know cars that well, but I would think of more like a weekend card, like a Lamborghini or a classic car where you know it's flashy, but you know you're not really going to use it every day. The Citi Strata Premier gives you 3 points on air travel and hotel purchases, 3 points on restaurants, supermarkets, gas and EV charging, 10 points on hotels, car rentals, and attractions booked through citytravel.com, and 1 point on everything else. So this credit card pretty much covers every single one of your big spend categories. It gives you 3 points on things like dining, gas, and groceries, and because, like I said, these points are worth so much, it's like you're getting 6% back unlimited in all of those categories. Also, this card gives you 6,000 points after you spend $4,000 within 3 months, which is easily over $1,000 worth of value. Also, you can earn that sign-up bonus again every 4 years, so you could either downgrade or cancel the card and then just reapply and then get a brand new sign-up bonus. Now, this card does come with a $95 annual fee, but it also gives you a $100 statement credit on hotels when you make a $500 or more booking through Citi's travel portal. And just to clarify, to get that statement credit, you don't have to book a $500 hotel for a night. It can be a $100 hotel for 5 nights in a row, or a $300 hotel for 2 nights in a row, just as long as it's one consecutive booking. Now, from what I've seen, Citi's travel portal is pretty competitive with their hotel prices, but even if you don't spend that much on hotels and you can't get that statement credit and you're just paying an outright $95 for this credit card, it is still worth it because of the earning categories and then the access to the transfer partners. Also, when you have this card, it allows you to take the cash back from Citi's other 2 cashback cards that we're about to talk about and use them for travel. So you could take the cash back and transfer them out to any of Citi's transfer partners, which is exactly what we're going to do with the next card in the setup, the Citi Double Cash. The Citi Double Cash is a card that gives you 2% back on every single one of your purchases. It gives you 1% when you buy and then 1% when you pay it off. You're going to use this card for all your miscellaneous spend. So every time you purchase something that doesn't fall into a bonus category like gas, groceries, or dining that you would use another card for, like the Citi Strata Premier, you're going to use the Double Cash for. So that might be stuff like oil changes for your car, maybe a car wash, the pet store, haircuts, maybe Home Depot, the random, like you get the point. And like I said, when you have the Citi Strata Premier and this Double Cash at the same time, you can take the 2% back and send it to Citi's transfer partners like American Airlines or JetBlue and get the equivalent of 3 to 4% cash back. And this card also gives you $200 as a sign-up bonus after you spend $1,500 within 6 months. And that is also given to you in the form of Citi thank you points that can be transferred out. All right, so the third card that we're going to be adding to this 5-card setup is the Citi Custom Cash. And I talk about this card all the time. It is one of the most versatile cards, whether you are team cashback or team travel, and it's only gotten better over time. So it's almost identical in the way that the Citi Double Cash works, where you can take the cash back from it and the sign-up bonus, and as long as you have the Citi Strata Premier, send it to Citi's transfer partners. But instead of giving you 2% back on every single one of your purchases, it'll give you 5% back in your top spend category up to $500 a month. After that $500, it'll only earn 1% back. And those categories include restaurants, gas stations, grocery stores, travel, transit, streaming services, drugstores, home improvement, fitness clubs, and live entertainment. Now, it's important to note that this card is only going to give you 5% back in one category, so you're only going to want to use this card for one specific thing because everything else will earn that 1% back. So to give you another example that is going to destroy my retention and take this video and no one will understand, is that if you play Clash Royale, you have the Evo Musketeer, right? After you play that card 2 times on the map, you get the evolved version, and then you can set it anywhere on the map, and it'll snipe the opponent's card from the other side of the map. But you don't want to play this just anywhere. You have to be very intentional with where you place it, and that's the same way that the Citi Custom Cash works. It is a sniper. It's not like a machine gun like the Citi Double Cash. When you put all 3 of these cards together, you have the Citi Trifecta. They all work in unison with each other. It's beautiful. It's probably the best credit card setup out right now. You got the Custom Cash as your sniper, giving you 5% back on up to $500 a month, the Citi Double Cash for all your miscellaneous purchases, and then the Citi Strata Premier for your everyday categories like dining, gas, and groceries. With these 3 cards, we pretty much have all of our flights covered, but what we don't have is hotels. And the problem that we ran into is all of our spend is already being put to good use with these 3 cards. So how are we going to earn points for hotels, and what cards are we going to pick? And I got 2 sneaky little cards that are beautiful in this setup. The first is the Bilt MasterCard. This is the only card that allows you to earn credit card points on rent without a transaction fee. If you rent and you don't have this card, please get it. It's one of the best cards out there. You get thousands of extra points on rent without doing anything. It also gives you 3 points on dining, 2 points on travel, and 1 point on everything else. And also, to be able to earn points on rent, you do have to use this card 5 times per month, but it earns 3x on dining, so that's not really an issue. And you might already know about this card and want to skip past this section, but it literally fits perfectly in this setup. So the first thing that it gives you is travel protections. And that is one of the areas that the Citi Trifecta lacks in, because the Strata Premier doesn't really give you that great protections, but the Bilt MasterCard does. So when you book your travel, you want to book it on the Bilt MasterCard. It gives you protection like trip cancellation and interruption protection, trip delay reimbursement, primary auto collision damage waiver, cell phone protection, and no foreign transaction fees. And don't sleep on these protections. If some stuff goes wrong with your trip, you're gonna wanna have them. I've gotten over $1,000 worth of value in the last year from these protections. And a big reason why it's in this setup, besides being the only card that gives you points on rent, is that the transfer partners that Bilt has fills the gaps where Citi's lack. Forget Citi, Bilt has the best transfer partners on their own. They have Atmos, which is Alaska's new points name. They have Japan Airlines, a bunch of others, but on the hotel side, they have Hyatt. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Hyatt is one of my most valued points currencies. You can pretty much get 2 cents per point on any booking whenever you're booking. So with the points that you're earning from the Bilt MasterCard, you're going to be able to book hotels with it. And just to go off script a little bit, there's so much going for this card. There's rent day bonuses where you're going to get double points on everything except rent. So you'll get 2 points on everything, 6 points on dining, and then I believe 4 points on travel for the first day of the month. So you can prepay any big travel or expenses you have on the first day of the month. Now, it is known that Bilt is going to be sort of refreshing / rebranding. They're just moving from Wells Fargo to Cardless, and they might have a couple different cards, maybe an annual fee version. And that would usually worry me, but not with Bilt. They're just such a massive company. They have over a $10 billion valuation. Literally the apartment complex that I moved into is in the Built Alliance, and I pay my rent through Built and everything. You'll see their logo on all the Walgreens now. Like, it's actually insane. So I think this company is going to be fine, and their credit card is amazing, and it fits amazingly in this or really any other setup. Now, by this point in the setup, literally all of our spend is accounted for. So you're probably wondering, how does a fifth card fit in? And that is where the World of Hyatt credit card fits in. Not only do you not have to spend any money on this card to get value from it, it'll also make the Built MasterCard a better card in the setup. And that's because, one, it gives you Discover status with Hyatt. So if you were to send your Built points over to Hyatt and book a room, you would most of the time get an automatic room upgrade if they have it available with Discover status, which, this Hyatt card gives you. The other reason why the card made this list is that it gives you one free night at a category 1 to 4 Hyatt every single year, and it only has a $95 annual fee. So even though you're paying $95 for this card, every year you're going to get a free room at a Hyatt that is going to be worth like $300. So basically you can send your Built points over and get nicer rooms with the Discover status, and this card also gives you a free night every year, which will pay for the annual fee. It also gives you 30,000 points after you spend $3,000 within 3 months, and then an extra point per dollar spent up to 30,000 points for the first 6 months. And if you do pay cash for a Hyatt, you'll get 4 points per dollar spent, and that is on top of the 5 points per dollar spent that you normally get for just having an account. So it'd be 9 points per dollar spent total. There are some other things that we don't really care about. The earning categories are kind of mid. You get 2 points per dollar spent on dining, airline, gym memberships, and then local transit and commuting, 1 point on everything else, and then some other things that we don't really care about. So with this strategy, we have Citi taking care of all of our flights, and then the Built and Hyatt card taking care of some of our hotels. And I do think that I was cooking when I came up with this credit card strategy, but there are a couple things that I want to mention. So first, with Citi, American Airlines is obviously a huge deal, especially right now, but it is a bit fragile. As millions of points flood in, those points will probably get devalued. So those 6,000 point flights that I was talking about might be double in a year from now. But I still think that it'll be a decent transfer partner even then. And given how many points that you're earning with the Citi trifecta, even if American Airlines goes down, they still have a great trifecta. They have JetBlue, which you can book United flights with. They have partners in all of oneworld, so you can book Delta flights. They have great international partners, obviously. So I think these cards will still be S tier even if these devaluations happen. And one thing that I want to talk about before I end this video is that you don't necessarily need to run the Citi trifecta. You could run the Capital One Duo if you cared about lounge access or just wanted more simplicity, or the Chase trifecta if you wanted to earn a lot of points for Hyatt. And if you're already running or building one of those setups, don't feel like you need to jump ship. What I've learned recently in the credit card game is that when everything seems cooked, things usually have a way of leveling out. It's almost like the same thing as the stock market. You'll see all these videos, like I even made one a couple months ago when all the devaluations and the annual fees were going up, and people were like, oh, we're going through a credit card recession, everything's cooked. But then, Citi got American Airlines, the Platinum card is actually pretty good now. So things will eventually, kind of even out.